How can you write a great historical fiction that sells? That question was coming from one of the lovely people that I knew. It was one of my readers, but not really my reader. She's, should I say, my reviewer. A couple of months ago when my book came out, The Mind of a Hero, so I carefully handpicked intelligent people, very brilliant people to help me to review my book on my website. So it was mind-blowing. It was very interesting. They share their thoughts about what they feel and all that about my book, and it was cool. So after that, so one of these girls from Tanzania, she said she had a question for me. I said, okay, what? So she asked me, how can someone write a great historical fiction? So, and at the time, I had already written a couple of things to share my journey on my Facebook page. So I just referred her to my Facebook page to go there and read, to have the time to read a lot. So she later read them and came back to me to tell me that she really appreciates all the help. And I'm like, I'm kind of flattered. I was amazed. So, but today I'm answering that question on a higher scale, because if she can ask me that question, I also be convinced that there are other people, thousands of people out there, asking same question. And maybe that could be the reason why you clicked on this video. So that is fine. So to get into the business, so my name is Chinoso Aguzie, a Nigerian writer and an entrepreneur. So how can you write a great historical fiction that sells? So number one is to get your facts right. The fact is very important, it's very crucial when it comes to writing historical fiction. I know you can also get your facts, to try to get your facts when you're about to write your project and other things, but when it comes to historical fiction, it's very important. It's very important because it has to do with things that happened in the past. It's a story about the bygones. So it is not something you can just jump on and start writing inadvertently like that. No, you have to prepare well. So how do you gather these facts? You gather them by making research. Consume books, materials that are in line with the subject matter. All right, you can visit places, maybe museums or some other places that you can get information to back up your stories. For example, when it was my time, when I was writing The Mind of a Hero, what I did was I met a couple of people, because I have already conceptualized that the story is going to be, the content will be bigger than me. So I have to really get in the information that will back up the story properly. Because in the story, there are two fundamental parts that I wanted to protect. All right, which is the local fact and the global fact. The local fact, which has to do about my community, about the traditions, about the customs and all that. I was ready to get them right. So I don't want to make any mistake about them. So based on the global facts, since the book has things to do with the transatlantic slave trade, I also wanted to make that very accurate, so that both the time, both everything will be accurate. And that was exactly what I did. And when I got my research all intact, completed, then I get to work. That's just how it is. And then there are reasons why you're supposed to do this in historical fiction. Number one is because of these three things. Number one, because of the time, because of the event, and because of the setting of the story. The time refers to the era in which the story is being set, the era of the story when it happened. Then the setting, which is the environment, the place in which the story occurred. All right. Then now the event, that means the actions, the occurrences that happened in these stories. So you have to get them right, get them intact. So that at the end of the day, when somebody reads your book, he or she will discover that you've done your homework, that you've been able to strike an indelible balance between a historical accuracy and fiction. Because you have only two jobs to do, only to educate and also to entertain. It's for you to create an authentic voice for your narrative. What do I mean by this? You have to be original. You have to be true to yourself. And when I said original, I did not mean you bringing ideas that are from heaven. No idea comes from heaven. All right. Someone said somewhere that you only said an idea is original because you didn't know the source. That's just how the system works, and it applies in everything. Because human beings, we only build on what's already existing. Nobody will wake up today to come and start building a new type of plane or a new type of phone than the ones that are already been in existence, but we build based on what's already existing. So that is where many people used to get it twisted, because they used to feel like my idea must be a virgin idea. No, your idea must not be a virgin idea. Get the idea and turn it into your own way. I know every creative work has to be, something, has to be something that you have to cannibalize in such a way, but you have to make sure that your own talent and your own originality still shines out in your own work. Number 3 is to be creative. Since you've signed up to be an author, to be a writer, you have to be creative, hyper creative. Is very important. So, but what I really mean by this is for you to be ready to make something up. All right, be ready to make something up. Do not let your ego to be on the line that you will be suffocating your characters. No, let your characters lead the story while the events and the actions follow. Because many people used to make this kind of mistake where they will gather a lot of topics, a lot of facts, a lot of events that they want to be featured into that particular work, without understanding that the characters, they are the main thing. All right. So you have to be very, very careful and be very intentional while dealing with this. Because you must come at that crossroad where you have nothing else to do, but only for you to find a way to fabricate stuff. Because at the end of the day, you have only 2 things that I told you before. It's for you to be able to entertain and also to educate. Simple, period. Number 4 is to think about what inspires you the most. Maybe it's from the book you read, or maybe from the movie you've seen, or maybe from the real life story. It can happen. So what you have to do then is for you to be able to craft a structure for your story. All right, be able to craft a structure for your story. Do not allow yourself to be deceived by other ideas or because of other inspirations that have been choking your head. No, you have to focus. So when it comes to this point now, you have to be very much intentional, but you have to be very careful so that you don't be a copycat. All right, but make sure that you're making your own work in such a way that it will be really your own work. Number 5 is to stick to what is necessary to the story. All right, so in this case now, you've gathered a lot of facts, a lot of events that you want them to feature in the story, right? But don't make the mistake of trying to suffocate all of them into the story. No, you have to be very, very careful and also wise enough to know that not all of them will be into that story. So you have to be able to sieve it down to select the necessary ones, the most important ones that are very crucial for your stories. So number 6 is write, and write. All right, and rewrite and rewrite and rewrite and rewrite, and then edit and edit and edit and edit. Is because the thing is that since you have signed up to be a writer, you must be able to write. To put your butt on the chair and write, sit down, to have that discipline to write. I can remember when I was writing The Mind of a Hero, I could spend like 7 hours, 6 hours, writing. And my dad would be like, "This guy, are you not?" But it just, when you are doing something that is born out of passion and purpose, so you just have to give it all you have. Is it going to take you time? Yes, it's going to take you time. But at the end of the day, you have to do the necessary things so that you can get the results you desire. And as you've written your first draft, don't say that, okay, it's ending there. No, you have to rewrite at least 4 drafts. That's when you can say, okay, it's closer to excellence. Then you can be shifting it to edit. Maybe you can hire a professional editor that can help you to edit the work, or somewhere. I think that may be more important than for you to edit your own work. So don't make the mistake of trying to edit your own work, because if you edit your own work, that means there are so many things that you will try to overlook because you feel like this is just like you killing your own child. So it's better when you've written your book and you have rewritten so many times that you feel, okay, this now is fine. Then you have to give it out for someone to edit. Don't even give it to your friends. Give it to a professional editor that will edit it for you. By doing this, at the end of the day, you will come to the conclusion of having a well-rounded historical fiction. I hope I've answered your question in trying to write a fiction, a great historical fiction that can sell. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you next time.